What is going on? Today we got a new project that we could sink our teeth into called TruBadger, the TruBadger project crypto token. And I've got the developers, the minds behind this project here with me in the hot seat. And we're going to be grilling them with questions, trying to figure out, is this a project that you and I can invest our hard-earned money into? Are they a scam? Are they, is our crypto safe? Are we going to get rug pulled again? We have to figure out all these things before we invest because it's the Wild West out here, okay? If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to 1 Bitcoin. I'm a brand new crypto investor, okay? I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm a cowboy, okay? I give cowboy advice, all right? You can't sue for that. So please don't even try, right? I've got a little lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency. If you want to follow along with me in that journey, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell for any updated content, and of course, give us a like button on this video because you are a generous person. I certainly am not entitled to it, but if you want to help me grow this channel and spread the awareness of the honest, good projects, or at least honest, good due diligence for projects, let me know and hit that like button. That would be fantastic. Now, a little bit of backstory before getting into this. Look, I'm a brand new crypto investor like you. I use YouTube to try to figure out, hey, where should I put my money? Because I don't have that much, right? Like I got little pennies to my name here. And so these YouTubers out here, they're getting paid to to promote these coins. And I didn't know that. But these developers weren't even happy with the YouTubers because they're just reading a dumb website, you know what I mean? And they're not even excited about it. So I thought about, hey, let's get these developers in the hot seat where I could grill them face to face, well, not digitally face to face, and try to get a good feel for them myself. And so it's a win-win-win approach. One, the developers, they get to stand on their own project, promote it with energy, tell me all the ins and outs of it better than a website could, better than I could from a website to you. Two, I get compensated and I don't get to, pull punches. I get to ask hard-hitting questions as hard as I want. Like these ones, hopefully they'll sting. And three, you and I get the best information on whether or not we could trust these people and trust this project. And so today we have the developers from TruBadger in the hot seat. Welcome to the hot seat, Peter and Cory. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us, Aaron.
Of course. Glad that you guys are here in the hot seat with us. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Before we talk even about TruBadger, I believe that projects and businesses are extensions of the people leading them. And so if you guys would, please give me a little synopsis, quick origin story of yourself and how you came to crypto. Peter, you're up first.
All right, man. So I lifetime entrepreneur. It's all I love to do, right? Some people like to go on vacations, play golf. I like to start companies, build companies, and work in the business space. In early 2015, I actually started to jump into crypto. Somebody had told me about it, and I got involved with a project called Gantner, started buying miners, and of course, it ended up being, they ended up shutting them down. I ended up losing my crypto, right? I said, I'm not going to get involved in that anymore. I don't know about that stuff, right? Seemed like it might have had some potential. Fast forward to 2008, the end of 2017, 18, we are in a bull market, right? Crypto's going crazy. I try to get involved in October, but couldn't figure out wallets, and people are talking about you need this and you need MetaMask. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I'm busy. Put it off, but finally, the very end of the year, 2017, I buy some crypto, and in 3 months, I take 15 grand and turn it into $45,000. I'm like, wow, we're rocking and rolling. Woo. And then the bear market, more than a bear market, the crash comes. I go all the way back down to my 15 grand. In the meantime, we had started building a piece of digital trading software, a cryptocurrency trading software called Digibot. And so we said, hey, when that's built up and we get that right, then we'll jump back into crypto. And of course, it took a few years to get that thing dialed in. So in the last 6 months, we decided to re-engage, started to jump in, started to realize that the blockchain is really what I'm excited about. Cryptocurrency to me is a representation of the value that'll be created in our lives by the blockchain. And so we started looking at it. Back in 2018, the top website at that time, or DApp at that time, was like 700-800 people a day using it. And now you have things like Brave. Brave has over 30 million users, right? Like 18 million a day or something, some crazy number. So the functionality, the utility, the value of the blockchain is here now. So now it's time for us to engage and start to build the real value of it. Cryptocurrency will represent that value. But to me, the blockchain is about what is it going to do in my life, in the lives of other people, to make it easier, more secure, better, essentially, just like what the internet has done for the most part.
I love that approach. You said something interesting, which I think is right. I have to dissect that, kind of let that sit on my brain, a little lizard brain here. Crypto is the representation of the value that the blockchain brings. I'd want to dive into that a little later, but I want to do some. So I want to give it to Cory a little bit. Cory, give me some of your origin story here.
Sure, man. Thanks. Peter's the brains. I always feel like people are an asset, right? And so over the last 10 to 12 years, I dabbled in crypto. I bought my first Bitcoin back when it was $97 a Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
Way back when. And that was when I would tell stories about, hey, this is this cryptocurrency. This is how it works. This is the ins and outs of the blockchain. And it was like sorcery. It was like I was speaking magic to people. And I'd never get the time of day. But my backstory really is I'm a graphic designer. I've been in network marketing for almost close to 15 years now. Always feeling like I was the underdog, and I'd always feel like I was trying to get ahead, but it was like running in quicksand, So over the years, I started developing social skills as far as building communities, building networks, strong communities, creating value for others. I've taught classes on influencing, how to be a better person, how to make the world a better place. And so through all of that journey, I met my good buddy Jan through crypto and a crypto company. Of course, like everybody else's story, turned out to be a scam. But that's where I met Peter Gantner. And, decided really at that point when I put my foot down and I said, I'm going to do my best to not let anyone else get hurt in the industry of networking, and especially the Wild West of crypto. So here we are today, and excited more than ever, fueled and fired.
Whenever someone mentions marketing, especially network marketing, I perk my ears because that's where my background is. I have a lot of marketing experience, and especially with Quickstar and Amway too, I have some network marketing experience there. So those are the big ones, right? So, okay, guys, let's talk about TruBadger. TruBadger, tell me a little bit about what it is, what you're trying to accomplish. Don't give me the stuff on the website. We could go on the website for that. Give me the stuff that's from you. What's your goals? What is TruBadger? What's it trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so TruBadger is, we were thinking about putting together a crypto, and we're still going to move forward with that one down the road. But TruBadger, when I saw what happened with SafeMoon, and I started to look at the fee-based, which at first when I looked at it, I thought, oh man, that's not good, right? But then I started to think that even though there's a fee included in the deflationary reflection tokens, it's a fee that 100% of that fee goes towards improving the value of the token itself, meaning either it goes back as reflection, it goes back as into LP, right, to go ahead and build a base for it. So that's when I said, oh, this is the perfect model for us to start an ecosystem. So TruBadger is the first token in an ecosystem that we're building. We're going to end up putting out a blockchain eventually. This is on the Binance Smart Chain, of course, to get us started. But so TruBadger has, in our tokenomics, we have a percentage that goes back to what we call our innovation fund. That money is used to develop future projects. We're working on a couple right now that are actually in the works. The value that is created by these other projects will provide value to TruBadger, meaning building assets for it. So I'm a traditional business person, right? How do you value a business? Intellectual property, patents, revenue, right? The amount of revenue coming in, profitability out of that revenue. That's what we're building with TruBadger. So we're not going to say, oh, by the way, we've got 1 million people that like to buy and sell us, and so we're worth a fortune. No, our goal is for TruBadger to be worth a fortune because we have assets behind it. So we're building a very unique swap, not a standard swap, just because everybody's building one of those. And we're also building a unique approach to NFTs. When those launch, a portion of their tokens will be airdropped to anybody holding the TruBadger tokens. So again, getting another token along with ours. But also a portion of the revenue from those projects will be paid back to TruBadger. That right now will go to burning more tokens. So we'll buy tokens off the marketplace and we'll burn them. However, we're setting governance in place. So another unique feature of the TruBadger is we're putting real governance in place that the community will help us decide what to do with those funds down the road. We'll put a voting mechanism in place for really where token holders can vote on initiatives of how we run the company, or the projects that we work on in the future. Right now, that guidance is in our hands, and because we don't have the governance set up yet. But within 6 months, that'll be fully in control of the community. We work for the community the way I see it. I don't own, TruBadger. TruBadger basically owns me, right? Because I work for it. I'm a token holder, just like everybody else, and we're out there to build value through these other projects.
Okay, so I've got a lot of questions here, but let me summarize. So you're saying that TruBadger, a lot of people right now are trying to evaluate or give value to the coin based on number of holders and the price of that. But you want to give value to the coin based on the amount of assets or quality and quantity of assets that you're developing within the TruBadger ecosystem. And you say ecosystem because there's multiple things included here. There's a swap that you're trying to build out that's unique. There's an NFT-based marketplace that's unique that builds out reflection into TruBadger, I guess liquidity and back to the holder. Is that what that is? Okay. And then a governance. So those three, at least you've mentioned those three aspects to TruBadger, all building up to eventually a blockchain. The governance should be seen in about 6 months. You didn't give a time frame for the swap or the NFT. I'm guessing the governance is in first position right now. That's what you're going to.
No, actually, we'll end up launching we'll have it in about sometime this week. We'll set the date for launching the swap.
Oh, okay.
That'll be in a couple of weeks. We actually used our swap. It's already built. We used it to launch TruBadger because we didn't want bots to attack us. We can kind of tell you that story. That was a unique thing. We actually went to launch TruBadger a week earlier, and we got attacked by bots. They drove up the value of the token in like minutes before we could get things set up. So we shut that token down because nobody purchased it except for bots. Basically beat the bots. We made money off of the bots actually when we shut it down, and then said no, we need to fix this. Went and found some programmers who had built a unique swap that prevented bots from being able to attack. So we used that a week later to launch TruBadger, and now we said this is fantastic. We came to an agreement with the programmers, and now we're going to take that swap. So it should be ready in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And the uniqueness of the swap is it won't be a swap like Pancake Swap where you go and swap all the time. It'll only be used for the first 2 to 4 or 5 days the token launches, and then we'll transfer over it on Pancake Swap. The factor of our swap is to eliminate bots from driving up the price, having people overpay. We've done this many times. Rarible is a great example of a bot manipulating the heck out of a token. Cory ended up buying some, $4 or something?
I was buying
buddy?
at like $8 and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah. And then and it went down, and that was all a bot attack. We want to stop bots from being able to control. So we're starting the Binance Smart Chain. We'll eventually get to Uni. But the key would be is having a platform, and we've already worked out the technology. This is not something we're trying to do. We used it to beat, to some degree, but we're putting some other features in place to be able to eliminate that. So we'll go from our swap after a few days to then Pancake Swap and let them do the day-to-day stuff. All we want to do is eliminate the bots from being able to manipulate, because we've all lost money. I've lost money on launches from bots. You've lost money. Cory's lost money. Everybody watching this has lost money because of the manipulation of bots in a launch.
So let me just get this straight, right, for anyone who's new, and I just try to recap this. In crypto, when there's a new crypto that's being launched, bots come in and buy up the price before anyone else can do it, like within milliseconds. It drives up the price so that people buy in at higher prices at the bots, and the bots dump it on good, hardworking people like you and me. And so what you did was you developed a swap just for the particular launch of this. So I guess TruBadger is not even launched then, right? Okay.
No, it is. It is. We're actually on Pancake Swap. So we used it in the first 2 days of us launching, and then went on to Pancake Swap very successfully. We had one or two purchases from bots, but our valuation was already up in that $10-12 million range because of the way we had done it, where we avoided the bots from being able to even get in the door. So we've actually proven that it works, because our token is very stable. It's gone from about 12 million up to about 20 million. It's never ranges more than a couple $1,000,000 at a time, where a lot of the tokens are going up and down like yo-yos. Ours hasn't done that because we didn't let the bots in the door. Because what happens is when a bot comes in the door, it drives up the price. Everybody sells, it crashes. It does it again. It buys it again and then runs it up again. So it's not even a one-time thing. Once they get a hold of a token, they'll keep manipulating it until the cows come. So if you can prevent them from getting a hold of it in the very beginning, then you can protect the token, not for the launch,
so what's
but
the goal
in the future of the
So
token.
what's the goal of the swap then? It's already
analysis.
launched. Your coin's already launched.
Yeah, but we'll launch other people's coins. Oh yeah, we wanna launch. We wanna help 3, 4, 5 projects, legitimate projects, docs teams, people that are willing to say, hey, by the way, my name is Peter Gantner. I live in Fountain Hills, Arizona, right? So you can go drive there and, people that we know or that are willing to do it. Yeah, so we're going to launch a swap that hopefully will be launching 100 to 200 projects a year, utilizing this starting in the Finance Smart chain, but eventually onto Uni for ERC20, and maybe even for like Matic or Polygon. And some of these other ones.
You're selling a service for crypto developers to be safe on launching their crypto projects.
That is the way to create value behind these tokens. It's like a service, right? I'm going to sell you something that you're willing to pay for.
Absolutely.
And then that creates value for the token. That's where I see. By the way, all tokens eventually will have to go to what's your assets, what's your cash flow, what product are you selling? The hype days in the next 3 or 4 years will be gone, right? You won't.
I think people are going to get burned by the hype, and then they're going to start wising up. You know what I mean? So I think hype is still there because new investors will still keep coming in, but it'll be greatly diminished because the community at large will be.
Well, and Aaron, hype is actually good, right? Because it just like in the .com days, it overvalued companies, which gave those companies the assets then to develop what became value. It does open the door for scam artists, but hype is not always a bad thing. It allows for massive sums of money to be put into an area that probably doesn't deserve it because the fundamentals don't equal up, but the hype is what brings it, and that's the future, right? The hype is the future.
Agreed.
Progress.
Okay, cool. So that's what's unique about the swap is that it blocks out bots. What is unique about the NFT marketplace, or did you already mention that the reflection and the revenue?
No. So our first thing is we're going to try to make NFTs somewhat affordable. It's always funny. I talk to people and they go, "Oh yeah, we sell inexpensive NFTs." Well, how much do you sell them for? 0.3 ETH. Oh, 0.3 ETH. Maybe you've got a truckload of ETH somewhere, or a wallet that's got like 42 million in it, right? But to me, a third of an ETH is like, $600, right? I mean, it's like, that's not a cheap NFT to me. A cheap NFT to me is a couple of dollars, right? Then maybe I could buy kind of like a trading card, and then the artist takes off, and then I've got a 20 or 30 or $50. So we're doing that in a unique way. And then as well, we're talking to a lot of bigger artists about also offering theirs as well. Kind of everything we do in a unique fashion. Some of the stuff we're filing protection and patents on, which, by the way, will all be owned by the foundation which governs the token. So these are not assets that we own. These are all assets that'll be what will create the value.
I love uniqueness when it comes to projects and businesses and stuff like that. USP, for anyone who doesn't know, a unique selling proposition. So you said that it's unique. Like, why exactly is it unique? I'm not sure if I caught that.
So we're gonna make NFTs affordable in a very special way. We can't
Oh,
kind of get into the details
this is why
yet,
we're here.
But in about 6 weeks when we launch it, and
okay,
we're coming back, Aaron, in 6 weeks because we don't. This is about head start, right? First mover advantage.
Sure,
And,
sure.
this stuff people can jump on and do right away. Our swap is built, right? So we know we don't have to worry about that one. In the NFT
Fair enough.
space, it's still kind of under the hood
Fair enough.
from what we're doing. But we'll come back
Yeah.
and definitely
Yeah.
talk to you about what we're doing on
Yeah,
all these
so
projects. We love this. This is great. I think we're gonna have every project
I'm about it.
we
I'm
launch
about it. That'd
first
be
stop
great.
is
Yeah,
gonna
so
be here.
it's just interesting what you say, like that these NFTs are very expensive, like extremely expensive. Like I'm on OpenSea, I'm like, what the? I don't even believe in NFTs that much. I mean, just to be honest, like I'm like, I haven't seen a real use case. I'm starting to see some use cases for it, but I'm like, why would I spend like $600? It's just like this is crazy to me. So
Aaron, in about 3 or 4 months, we're going to come back on here and I'm going to explain to you why NFTs are going to be a powerful mechanism for a lot of people. Anyways, we've got so much cool stuff coming in this ecosystem that we're building. You can see I'm getting a little excited because I start thinking about what we're going to do and what we're already doing, and I'm thrilled to be in this space.
awesome.
And
So before we
excited
get
to be
into
able to create the
governance,
value.
governance is only based on the community. You said you have a growing community of on TruBadger. How do you plan on growing that community? What's your marketing plan? How do I know that, hey, you guys have the right foresight involved to grow this community? Because it's not going. I mean, it has to grow in order to be a competitor in the space.
I'll just say we're counting on you, Aaron.
Cory, do you want to take that one, buddy?
We'll see if we can make something happen.
This is all we got, man. This is all we got.
Well, okay, let's get to work.
All right, man. I'd say, in all seriousness, we do strive to be better. And that starts with, we have an entire staff that spends hours a day on Zoom calls, on the phone, walking new crypto enthusiasts, novices to experts, actually, on how to purchase, on how to set up wallets, how to get to the TruBadger, and how to do their swaps. So we've got support that is just unmatched. I've never seen in the space, something that has been missing ever since I've been in it. Where to turn and who to talk to and who is real and how to get that help. So our community is our number one asset, in my opinion, and the stronger that we make that from the beginning, the bigger and faster that's going to grow over time. We're setting the precedent ourselves from the start. We're creating value, like Peter said. The best thing that you could do in building a community is create value, and we're here for the long run, man. We're not here to pump and dump. We're not here to be a flash in the pan. We're here to stay. And I truly believe, and I think the team truly believes, that as long as we're creating an environment that is creating value for the token holders as priority one and their families, they're going to take care of the entire rest of the building and all of that. So as far as the specific marketing strategies, we have an entire team with all different special gifts. So one thing that I'm excited about, we built a really strong team over the last 5 or 6 years here, and they all work well together. They all bring their own talents, and we're able to reach platforms, we're able to reach networks, we're able to reach other ecosystems around the world in an instant. And so with that, we have kind of a full court press attack on all different strategies and social media platforms of all different sorts.
So
yeah, I'd love to say that Elon is my brother-in-law and he's going to tweet about us, but that's
right.
Anyway, right? So that would be like, we're already there. One thing that we do, Aaron, is the day we launched our token on PancakeSwap, we had Zoom rooms set up, and we literally helped hundreds of people walk them through their BNB, walk them through setting up their wallets, getting them to buy it. So since then now, starting today, 3 hours a day, we have a Zoom room open by TruBadger where anybody can go on, and we'll walk them through getting a wallet set up. We'll walk them through buying even our competitors' crypto, right? Because we don't believe there's competition in the space at this point in that way. So we're actually hands-on
Wow.
helping get people started in the space with labor, right? It's something that I don't think anyone's ever done in this space before, which is getting to know people. Also, too, one of the things we do marketing-wise, which is great, and is we have burn parties. So a lot of people do auto burns. And I look at it and go, community is so important in this space. So every Wednesday, we have a burn party. We have a DJ that comes on and
Wow.
rocks the house and plays music for about 25 minutes. We have a contest we run,
Like on
and then
Zoom?
we burn
Like
the
on
tokens, right? Because burning's pretty boring, right? Moving from one wallet to the next. Yeah, we do it on Zoom. Yeah, we do it online. We have burn parties. We have an event coming up in October in Las Vegas. It's a one-day event we'll have where we'll bring TruBadger people in. We'll launch something special there. So we are really hands-on. Let's build this together as community members and as people out there. So, we are also doing things like this, right? Going to influencers who we believe can actually influence people and doing things like this interview. We probably do more AMAs than probably any other project. I mean,
wow.
we've only
I
been
do.
launched for 2 weeks. We've probably done a dozen AMAs, right? We also have, so me and Cory are the men on the team, but we have 7 ladies on our team as well that are part of our thing. So we did an AMA with just the ladies. I interviewed them, 3 of our ladies. We have an AMA coming up next week, which is just the women. It's 4
Awesome.
of our women that'll be on the panel, answering questions, talking about this from their perspective, because we see a giant disproportion. I read somewhere 85%
Yeah.
men are into crypto, only about 15% women. We want to reach them because they're the purchasing power that's out there. So these are things that we're doing that are so different than anyone else. We believe we're going to build a massive community
I
of millions of
I
people that
noticed
are going
that
to
like
want to get
everything
on board
here
with
is
us
like
and
slightly
work with us on
unique and
building a
different
great
here, right? I've never heard of anyone doing Zoom room parties, just like setting up stuff. I haven't heard, I mean, I talked to a lot of developers. I haven't heard of burn parties before. I mean, that sounds cool. And then I didn't hear about a special emphasis on women getting involved and all that. I have a few questions on staffing, if you don't mind. You mentioned, Cory, you mentioned over the 5 to 6 years.
Sure.
What have you been doing for 5 to 6 years? Is this like in crypto? Or like you've been putting a staff together for this? Like, what does that mean?
So Peter is the founder, brainchild of a company that we launched together I'd say about 5.5 years ago. We came together and kind of handpicked and formed and organically grew our company together. That is when kind of the bond formed. We launched over 40 to 45 different companies together. And so in those 5 years, the best way to describe it is it would be family, but the sacrifices, the hours, the time, the energy, the money that has all been spent with this team has been a culmination. And what you're seeing now in TruBadger is kind of the sum of all those decisions, all those hours, all that energy, all that work. And if I could put it in a kind of a tangible way, it would be like a steel was forged through this experience. So when I say 5 years, 6 years, that's the culmination of this team, and everyone here has been together, and that's why things like when we build things and we communicate with the community and the token holders. One person's doing something and it's automatic for the next person, and it just rolls like a well-oiled machine. So I think that really puts us apart, and that's really different for why we have so much care, thought, and passion into what we're doing here.
Did you say you launched a company that launched 45 companies?
42.
42
Well, I was kind of right. I said 40 to 45, so I was right in there.
42. Yep, and
Is that network marketing
some are
right there at
on
work?
their way to being very successful. So we've been very. No, just working with entrepreneurs. We built a unique model to community-based. It's a community-based model for launching entrepreneurs and helping bring products to the marketplace. We've had 40 successful crowdfunding campaigns. we really
Wow.
know what we're doing when it comes to business, right? So that's the some of this. And then we looked at the crypto space and said, wait a minute, this is the perfect model. It's based on community. It's going to create a tremendous
Yeah.
amount of value over the next 5 or 10 years. As a matter of fact, it's going to change the entire world.
Sure.
It's going to bring 2 billion unbanked people into the equation, which is going to add literally trillions of dollars worth of
Sure.
value in the world. And so this was just a natural extension for us to jump into and take this dynamite team that we've put together of tested people to then get TruBadger up and running. And again,
I'm gonna push down a little deeper, and
continue
then I'm
on
gonna
our
make an
mission of
assessment
helping
here.
people
What's that
financially.
one company that you guys started? What's the first one, or that Kula brand? Koo.
Kula Brands. Kula.
Okay. I mean, I don't have it pulled up.
K-U-L-A-B-R-A-N-D-S. Kula Brands. And Kula
Okay.
in Sanskrit means community.
So if
It's
anyone
actually a
wants to,
Sanskrit
if
word.
anyone's
It
watching, you
stands,
could
so
search that,
it's
no
community
problem, and
brands.
check them out. But here's my assessment, and let me know if I'm close
Check
or
it out.
whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems that you guys. Okay, I talked to a lot of devs, and they're starting off with their first projects. Some devs are 20s, some are even 19, 17, 18, trying to just figure something out. And more power to them, right? Everyone's got to start somewhere. But you guys seem to bring in some kind of special expertise that brings in not like graphic designing and marketing sides of things, but with like a community, like there's an aspect of community that you guys are getting right now. There's an aspect of unique USPs, unique selling propositions, right? You just like just a different angle of things, how to like differentiate yourself from different coins in here. You're solving an actual problem, at least that you had to solve for yourself. Now you've found that solution. You're gonna rebrand it or repackage it for other people. You've got some secret NFT thing that we'll get to in the future. You're aiming for a blockchain. So there's definitely like a level of seasoned grit and seasoned expertise that I'm sensing from just kind of like getting from this. And so kind of when you bring all that to a table to like something like crypto, like you said, this is just what we've been doing. It's just a natural extension of what it is in a different space in crypto. We've been bringing people together. We've been creating businesses that hold assets. We have a long 6-year history of helping other people succeed and make companies. I can't vouch for if these guys are all successful. I would assume they are, just because of if you're saying it. Okay.
No, some are, some aren't, right? So I'm not gonna never
Sure.
could you find
Sure.
42 people and
And
help
that's
them all
fair.
become successful. Some people don't want to do the work, some people whatever. But we have a number of them that are successful. We actually do some music artists. One of them is 2-time winner of Josie Music Awards. So we've got some great stuff going. But definitely, we do know how to run businesses, and we do know what we're doing when it
Yeah.
comes to being able
Here's
to see
my
the future
assessment,
in a
man.
way
It's like
to
we
drive
see a whole
something
bunch of
that's
these guys who
unique
come
and
in
innovative.
here just trying to make a quick buck with these coins, and that's why they rug pulling. That's why they have zero plan to build something lasting and sustaining, zero plan on serving other people, zero plan on trying to solve problems, and then we get rugged in the process. But you guys, it seems to me, and if you're watching this video right now, I'm just trying to figure this out along with you. I had zero. I don't know these guys from anywhere. I'm learning right now in real time. I didn't know anything. None of this is. I didn't have any preconceived things. But this is my assessment. If you guys can tell, is that yeah, you guys are the real deal. I mean, it just seems like that. It seems like if you're fully doxing yourself, if you got all this expertise, and I just hear the way you talk, and it's very sharp. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the real deal to me, and I really love this swap idea. I think you're, like you said, you're cleaning up the space here. I think it's awesome. Guys, I think this is awesome. Let's get back to, off of my assessment, but I have 2 more things here. Well, there's 3 more things, really. The governance. We started talking about community. Tell me a little bit, is there anything unique about the governance? I know that's 6 months out, but maybe you could tell me what's going on there.
Yeah, so right now what we're working on doing is, so we're formulating that right now. So what we're looking at is projects like PCX and DOT, what governance they have in place. We're trying to find that balance. I don't know if anybody has or not yet. Trying to find the balance between complete decentralization where, it's hard to make decisions, and then having somebody like us who have knowledge and ability to make the right decisions and trying to find the balance between the two. So our first thing is we're in the process of forming a foundation. So just like DOT in Ethereum are foundations, so nonprofit foundation that will be the overseer of the project. So that's in the process right now. And then over the next month or so, we're looking at all the governance that's in place. We're going to put together what we believe is good governance. Then we will submit that to the token holders for them to give us feedback on our governance that we've come up with. What do they like? What don't they like? And through this process, we'll go back and forth until we come up with something that the majority of token holders want, and then launch it. One of the things we want to make sure is that no one can buy governance. Meaning you can buy 99% of all the TruBadger tokens, and the 1% of holders would still have power in that governance. So that is one thing we know that you will not be able to do. It won't be like the miners and all this other stuff where they push, their agendas because, they haven't balanced it out right. So it's not about how many tokens you have. It'll be based on the length of time you've been holding your tokens and other factors that we'll put together. So again, when we get this started to go in that direction, we'd love to come back, Aaron, and with more details. I'm never going to tell you anything that we don't have worked out.
So you have a lot of time, no problem. Real quick, I have to ask this question: is there a dev wallet, and how much do developers have?
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So we did it kind of unique. We did burn so normally, the dev team takes about 20% of the tokens. We burned those, so that's what we burned. And then the dev team actually bought tokens in a pre-sale. Only dev team people could buy it. We did that for legal purposes, right? Because I have a relationship with everybody. We bought 22.5% of the post-burn tokens. So of the 800 trillion that were out there, we bought 22.5%. We bought those at just under a $500,000 market cap on the thing. And then, of course, we went out, by the time we got on PancakeSwap, we went out at about $1 million market cap. So not much above it. But so we all paid for our tokens. We do own about 22.5% throughout the whole dev team on it. We're working on getting some of those locked up. We don't have them locked yet, but we are working on locking some of those up. But I'm not planning on selling my tokens. I know Cory's not planning on selling his. We believe in this project. We believe in the long term of what's going on. So we do hold tokens. And I got to say, Aaron, I will not touch a project that the devs don't own any tokens.
Exactly.
What incentive do they have to build a successful project if they're watching people get rich off their project and they're not getting rich? So a lot of times they talk like it's virtuous.
Exactly.
Like,
I believe that people need to be incentivized. If they're
like,
producing and solving real world problems, they need to get
with
paid because they need to be incentivized and keep going. How many people are on your team?
Yep. So we have 18 people on our team right now. 18 or 19, Cory? 18, right? I think it's 18. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't counted them lately, but we're talking to a few others about bringing some new people on. And we have a couple community members, token holders, who are helping us as well. So that's on top of that. BW, gotcha. AM. These guys are helping us almost
right,
like
another question is, why
job,
the name TruBadger? This is probably one of the first questions I should have asked you.
So, if you ever look up a badger, badgers are problem solvers. So we saw an article that talked about all CEOs are badgers. They're bad, what, right? Sure. I mean, a badger is tough. A badger will take on an elephant, right? A badger does not care your size. A badger can take on a cobra, get bit, take a nap, get back up, and go back to eating, right? Badgers solve problems. They actually, if a badger has something that's too high for it, it will literally make mud balls and pile up the mud balls to get to its thing. So, and then the true side of it was, it really comes down to being something true in the blockchain space. And so TruBadger just came together on it. And then Cory actually, if you go to our website, there's a story on there. There's a giant. The giant represents the blockchain. And not defeating the blockchain, but how massively intimidating the blockchain is, just like a giant, right? To especially new people coming in. And Truman, which is the TruBadger, he represents us. Not Truman's not one. He's everybody in the blockchain, all of our token holders. And so together we can battle this giant and win and defeat this, defeat the fear of it, defeat the blockades that are in place. So that story is actually on our website about the giant and individuals.
Gotcha. So it seems like you have a lot of history with Badger, right? Like this is not something that just came up. It seemed like you've had this Badger mentality through your creation of all these businesses and stuff like that. For sure.
We are definitely, I think you have to be a Badger to be an entrepreneur, because otherwise you're not going to make it, right? You got to be tougher than tough, and you've got to be able to be hit with any problem, and then take a little 5-minute nap and roll back over and go back.
Why
at
a
it
blockchain?
again, right?
Why are you trying to make a blockchain?
That's a Badger for you. Because then we can help launch projects fully from start to finish. Right now, we can help projects launch, but on the Binance Smart Chain. And so what we believe is this value proposition that we've talked about, and I'm not saying that other blockchains don't have it, right? But I'm saying when we build our blockchain, that's what it'll have. Finding good projects, anybody can build on most of these blockchains, right? I'd like to have a blockchain that has some standards that won't let some projects build on it, right? Because of the simple fact they're not the right kind of projects. Look, if the gatekeepers were there, how could these scams come up? If they were stopping, if they were saying, hey, who are you, right? You can be an anonymous dev team, but you can't be anonymous to us on our blockchain. We want to know that you're really here. So I think part of that is a blockchain that actually says, you know what? Cut the bull crap. We want to build an industry here, and in order to do that, and that's the balance between decentralization and centralization. You don't want to be centralized, but you don't want to go all the way decentralized if it's going to mean my mom can get scammed out of $20,000 or $5,000 of tokens, right? So it's finding that balance, and that's why we want to do our own blockchain, because then we can put some standards in place to hopefully be I'm going over on this chain over here. Why? Because maybe there is projects that aren't making it, but they're not making it because they're a rug pull, because somebody just threw together a contract in 2 minutes. And maybe that's not the blockchain. Maybe that's not people's idea of the blockchain. But I got to tell you, if we don't clean up the scam artists here in this space, I don't know if crypto blockchain will ever see its full potential, because eventually, if you're an AG, let's say in Florida, the AG, and you're getting 10,000 complaints a day about crypto and the blockchain and people getting scammed, eventually you got to do something about it if you want to get reelected and you want to stay in office. So eventually, if we don't clean things up, I'd love to start an organization of blockchain companies. So
you want to take on a blockchain project because you see so many scams out there, like BSC has so many of these scam coins and stuff like that. There's no regulation to it, and you want to add some kind of just a little bit enough to block out these scammers and try to some kind of vetting system, at least something small.
Yeah, enough. Yeah, enough to say, look, and hopefully we'll be able to build that through technology, where it's not somebody's opinion. I don't like that. I don't like this, but it basically says, hey, we're legitimate. We're here. At least we're not going to rug pull,
there you go.
in 2 seconds.
I've got 3 questions here. We're running out of time here.
We'll be around for 3 weeks at least.
First one is
not 30 minutes.
Is there anything left to talk about as far as we didn't cover anything? I mean, I covered like pretty much 4 big projects here and your team here. Is there anything left that is burning in your belly that you need to get out? Like, hey, we didn't talk about this. The floor is open here with this one. Awesome.
My goodness.
Yeah, we dug. I mean, I hope this has been good due diligence for anyone watching. It has certainly been for me. Second question. I want to go high level with this one. I want to take it back to that first quote that I mentioned. Crypto is just the representation of value from the blockchain. Can you expand your thought on that? Give me some of your thought process and why you said that particular sentence.
Yeah, because the blockchain is really where the immutability comes from, right? The decentralization, people controlling their data. So instead of Google owning my data, I own it. I can get compensated for that. That's the blockchain, right? That's the real value that's going to be created here. That's something where I go, oh, you're going to take my data, you're going to package it with 10,000 other people's data, you're going to sell it for, let's say, $50,000, and you're going to give me $3 of it. That's the real value, right? The $3 that's created. Now, whether that comes in a form of a cryptocurrency or some other payment. So that's where I see the real value, when I can own my own medical records. When instead of me going to a doctor and saying, "Oh, I need to see your last X-rays," me having to go, "Oh, let me call up my last doctor," and then it taking 2 weeks or a week to get my medical records over there. I control and own my medical records, right? They're on the blockchain. I give people access to it. I say, yes, you can see this. No, you can't see this. That's real value, and I would pay for that, right? Because of the convenience of that. That's the blockchain. That's not cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not. Cryptocurrency is a representation that since the company created value, let's say they get 10 million people who are paying them $10 a year for me to hold my own medical records. It's 100 million a year in revenue. Now I create a cryptocurrency that says this cryptocurrency represents this 100 million in value.
I agree. There's this the data,
now you've got the
immutability, the security, the lightning speed, and you could transfer it, the ownership, and the smart contracts. I mean, just the if this then that stuff. For sure. I think that's a very high level statement. Yeah. Sure. Banking, for sure.
Insurance, right? I mean, the insurance industry is going to be incredible. So if I have the insurance company settle things much quicker, banking, all that stuff. So
awesome.
It's the
okay,
value
I got one
of the
last question for you. I'm going to ask it. You guys can take your time
to
to think about it. I'd like both of you guys to answer this question, though, in your own special ways. Probably Cory, you're first, then Peter. Here's the question, and then I'll wind down this video. The question is, in a world full of all these cryptos, right? I've only got a couple $100 to my name. I can only invest in so many of these things. Why should I invest in you, and why should I invest in you big time, right? I mean, barring everything that we had already talked about, right? All of this can sum up, but give it to me in like a couple of short, piffy statements, to train this little lizard brain to understand, and anyone else watching, why should we invest in you and invest in you big time? Before you guys answer that question, if you watched so far into this video, I hope this has been very useful for you. I hope that it's a good source of due diligence for you to say, hey, you know what? I can buy into these guys. I could buy into this project. And for whatever money I have, I want to invest in this or not invest in it. I mean, this is your prerogative. I'm not out here shilling anything, right? This is strictly information for you to make a sound investment in. If you're this far into this video, if you forgot, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to 1 Bitcoin. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to follow on that journey. Notification bells for any updated content. And of course, give us a like button if you want to help me grow this channel and grow what we're doing here. We're building out an awesome community. I'm super excited about it. Okay, now, Cory, why should we be, investing in you and investing in you big?
Oh man, for me, it really comes down to heart and passion of what we do. Just don't listen to what we're saying. Come in and feel the experience and watch what we do over time. We are on AMAs all the time. And so if you come in and you experience what other token holders are saying, what the team is saying, how the team is treating other people, how others are treating others, it's just that different when you walk in. I mean, you could not physically walk into the Telegram channel or the Twitter feed, and you could feel that energy. You could feel, and people get scared of the L word, love and heart and passion. But that's where I come from, and I truly feel that if you come from a space of that love, grace, and passion for others, only good things are going to come out of it, and that's where we are built from.
Awesome. Yeah, I find that the best businesses and the most wealthiest people serve the most people in the best ways. You know what I mean? Like that's just been a core philosophy of what I know about money, what I know about life. You know what I mean? So that's I firmly agree with that sentiment. People, there's like a bad connotation to entrepreneurs and businessmen. It's like totally backwards to me. It's like, no, those guys serve the most people in the best way, and that's why they have is like money is just a receipt of thankfulness, of gratitude. Like, hey, thank you so much for serving me in this way. So yeah, I fully agree with that for your statement and all that. Yeah, Peter, how about you?
So we've got a great community of people already that you're joining. So 2,500 plus people, a couple thousand of those, at least 2,000, we already have pre-existing relationship. I mean, they know us, right? My mom, my sister, right? I mean, people that we know that are buying these tokens, not just to make a quick buck, they're buying them to hold. So we've got the hold factor nailed down in our base of a community. We've got an experienced team that understands business. And we're innovative. And we work like no other people out there, right? Some people might be able to keep up with us, but they're not going to outwork us. And our true focus is not just enriching ourselves, but making other people wealthy along the way, right? And you'll learn that from our community when you get in and you engage. Look, just go on our Telegram. You'll see BW said it best. He goes, our Telegram is completely different. All the other tokens, it's pump, Lambo. And we do. We have a sticker that says pump. We have a sticker that says Lambo. But that's a small portion of our chat because, again, we're here to build something special, and we're looking for the right people to build it with us. And so for the people out there that want to find something that they can put, whether it's $100, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, and then grow something over time, not just exit next week, but want to build something over the next year, 5 years, 10 years. Look, I might even have some Asian in me, right? Because I'm looking at a 100-year plan here. We're looking at building something. I'm not looking at next week or just next month. We're looking at a 100-year plan in order to make an impact in this space. So that's the reason for getting involved with us and investing. We're here. We're doing AMAs. We're not afraid to connect. Matter of fact, we're having our live event. So if you want to come meet us, shake hands, that type of stuff. We're real people doing something that we want done.
Thank you guys for being in the hot seat. Thank you so much for joining me in this interview. Thank you so much for watching. If you're listening, if you're joining us together, best of luck to you guys. Thank you so much for this time. Guys, I hope you have enough information to make the best decision that you can on this project on TruBadger. Check out all the links there in the description, all of that. Check out their channel, check out everything. So thanks so much again. You guys, you got to have a little lizard brain in these streets, okay? Gorilla Arms, Diamond Hands, exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency. We're doing it together. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.